InnerScope Hearing Technologies is a manufacturer, wholesaler, and retailer of direct-to-consumer hearing devices to disrupt the $5 billion current hearing aid industry in the United States. And with new government deregulation and soon-to-be Medicare coverage for hearing devices, we will see 10 times growth in the hearing aid market in the United States just in the next few years. And InnerScope is looking to take a chunk of that. I'm third generation in the hearing industry. My grandfather's been doing it since the 1940s. He's still doing it today at 86 years old in his private practice in Modesto, California, and loves helping the hearing impaired. So, you know that old saying in families that kids are meant to be seen and not heard? Yeah. In my family, kids were meant to be seen and they can talk only if they talk about hearing aids. And that's what I've been doing since I was 5 years old. Obviously, I couldn't go toe-to-toe with my grandfather on how to dispense a hearing aid at 5 years old, but I learned everything over the past 30-plus years in SOPs, technology, marketing, demographics, everything you can think of around the operations of a business in the hearing aid industry. And that's the reason why InnerScope Hearing Technologies is focusing on the direct-to-consumer market of these, because right now, well over 98% of the $5 billion hearing aid industry is only in the professional model. And let me tell you, you currently do not have to get a prescription for a hearing device. So a lot of people think that you do, but you don't. The FDA, even in 2014, reclassified it, saying is you do not need to see a professional before you buy a hearing device. So that's the reason why InnerScope is primed to take a current chunk of the $5 billion industry and take a huge chunk of the upcoming market. Get to the next slide here. I don't know if anyone knows this, but hearing loss is actually connected to so many other parts of the body. It's connected to heart disease, diabetes, falling, depression, hospitalization, even suicide. But the most recent one actually was it's been connected with dementia and Alzheimer's. If you have untreated hearing loss, you're 5 times more likely to get dementia and Alzheimer's in your lifetime. And throughout this entire process, is if you have untreated hearing loss, you actually will live 3 years less than someone that even has a hearing loss, but is being currently treated with some sort of hearing assistive technologies. The challenge. There's 48 million Americans suffering from hearing loss today, with 41 million of those 48 million people are not getting hearing help. That's 7 million people are currently getting help, and 41 million not. That's over 85% of the population that is currently not getting hearing help. And that's due to 3 reasons. One, high cost. It's $4,000 to $12,000 a set for a hearing device if you go to a local audiologist or a Miracle Ear or a Beltone or any other franchisee out there. Low accessibility. The current hearing devices, you have to go to a professional to get delivery of those devices and actually seek adjustments through those professionals. And then lack of hearing loss awareness. There is no real awareness of the causes or the issues that will happen with untreated hearing loss. You have breast cancer, you have colonoscopies for colon cancer. You have all these out there to get those addressed. No one's talking about hearing loss. And that's another reason why InnerScope can actually solve all 3 of these. We're actually the only one in the market that actually solves all 3 of these. The solution. InnerScope has patented award-winning direct-to-consumer hearing devices and hearing assistive products at affordable cost, 50 to 75% of savings than our major manufacturers without sacrificing quality. We have products starting as low as $299. We offer highly accessible hearing devices with our corporate-owned retail locations, as well as distribution agreements with big box retailers and marketplaces. We offer highly unique, easy access to hearing health awareness and products purchases with our automated hearing screening kiosks, which I will be getting into detail in all of these areas. Now, here's a little YouTube video I hope will play here that really talks about how direct-to-consumer hearing devices and how it works.
InnerScope Hearing Technologies is disrupting a multi-billion-dollar traditional distribution
Sorry about
model
the
of hearing
quality.
healthcare products by offering direct-to-consumer hearing aids with the latest state-of-the-art technologies and features at manufacturer direct prices. This virtually eliminates the middleman, cutting hearing aid costs by more than 80% for similar technology. Never go to an audiologist or hearing aid office again. Compare the differences and see for yourself. Old, traditional hearing aid purchasing models involved a lot of time and steps. Call a hearing health provider for a consultation. Drive to a local hearing aid center. Make another appointment for fitting and adjustment. Return to the local hearing aid center. Get fittings and adjustments. Expensive service costs. Repeat adjustment cycle over 30 times in 3 years. Results? Great hearing aids that work. Average $2,000 to $4,000 each. Check out our easy hearing aid purchasing model. Research from your home. Order online or on the phone. Expert staff program the devices to your hearing profile. Expedited home delivery service. Experience a 30-day in-home free trial. Don't like it? Ship it back with zero out-of-pocket. Expert support available whenever you need it. Results. Great hearing aids that work, starting at $499.99 each. Gain access to the latest advancements in hearing aids and save thousands by eliminating the middleman. The best part? You never even have to leave your home.
So that is a video that further explains how direct-to-consumer hearing devices and the struggle of why 41 million Americans are not getting hearing help due to the accessibility issue. No one wants to go to an audiologist and go 30 times over a 3-year period. That's a lot of hours outside of, that's going to an audiologist for just simple adjustments. There we go. But now, InnerScope has a game-changing solution. We offer self-fitting hearing devices with telehealth. Using our smartphone device, Android and iOS, we have an app that actually, we ship you a product, and then through that app, using the hearing device, it tests your hearing, and then it actually self-adjusts and self-fits to your hearing loss. So this is even going a bit further than even that video that I just showed. So this way, a person will never have to see an audiologist ever again. They'll be able to program and adjust their hearing devices on the fly directly from their phone. These products start as low as $695 just for this product. And also we know the average age of a hearing aid consumer is around 72 years old. What was if you have an 85-year-old that might be not as tech savvy? What if they get a little lost through the process? This is where our telehealth really kicks in, is that our audiologist at our corporate office in Roseville, just about an hour and a half away from here, 5 hours in traffic, that with our audiologist in our corporate office, we can actually remotely dial in through the cloud into their app and remotely program those devices directly to their hearing loss. So again, a person will never have to leave their home or go to an audiologist's office to hear correctly and hear their family members again. Now let's talk about the unique selling proposition. We have up to 92% gross margin on our products. Okay, this is huge. And we're able to offer our products as low as $499 to up to $2,500 with a 67 to 92% gross margin. Okay, that is huge, and we're able to still make that type of margins. Now let's talk about the 5 global hearing aid manufacturers that are currently out there. Okay, the average consumer cost is around $2,500 a device, but they range from anywhere from $750 to $4,000, with just a gross margin of 55 to 65% to your local audiologist. That's the reason why hearing devices are so expensive. Just like when gas prices go up, people start yelling at the gas station owners. Okay, it's not the gas station owners. You have to follow through, all the refineries, all through the entire process. That's the problem with hearing aids. Hearing aids are expensive because of the hearing aid manufacturers. We're bypassing the hearing aid manufacturers and going directly to the consumers, offering manufacturer direct pricing directly to the consumers without sacrificing quality. Now let's talk about the huge government deregulation that just happened about 2 years ago. Obama started in 2015, Trump signed into law in 2017. This is creating a new over-the-counter hearing aid law act, which is going to be in place anytime, any point from now until August 2020. So it can be happening any minute. And based on preliminary facts, our devices will qualify under this over-the-counter hearing aid law act. Basically, it creates a third level of technology that will go directly into off-the-shelf products. Our products still can be off the shelf. It's a gray area. It's a misnomer. So to create hearing loss awareness, they created this Over-the-Counter Hearing Aid Act. Okay? Our hearing devices that we sell through online or through Walmart.com, etc., those are actually direct-to-consumer hearing aids. Really somewhat the same thing, but this classification increases the adoption rate to the 41 million that need hearing help. Now, proposed Medicare coverage. It just passed the Energy and House Energy and Commerce Committee that Medicare coverage will start to cover 80% of hearing aids starting in 2022. Insurance does not cover hearing aids. 95% of insurance policies in this country do not cover hearing aids unless it's a workers' comp issue. Workers' comp, iron workers, some sort of that does have, they do have special riders, but 95% of the policies do not have hearing aid coverage. Now, individually, each one of these will help millions of people get hearing help. Together, these two regulations will help tens of millions of people with hearing help, and then that's the reason why the current $5 billion industry is only helping 7 million people. You can imagine if we double that, triple that, helping tens of millions of people with hearing help, you can see where that how the market is going to be increasing over the next few years. Now let's talk about the hearing loss awareness. InnerScope has created this highly unique, highly engaged, unintended hearing screening kiosk that we are currently launching with retailers and pharmacies. No other big box retailer or national pharmacy is currently offering these. We're the only one in the country that is doing this. And we have pretty much every national retailer and national pharmacy you can think of has expressed interest into this. We're already in active proposal and active talks with pretty much everyone you can think of. Here's just a few that are currently, that is actually on this list. There's over 100,000 potential sites. You think in urgent cares, physical therapy, medical places. It's just not pharmacies and retailers. You're talking everywhere needs these hearing screening kiosks to really get the engagement out there with this 41 million Americans. The kiosks have an iPad. Within 2 minutes, they will be able to take their hearing test, and right then they will be able to know if they have a hearing loss. If they have a hearing loss, it directs them to, it recommends one of our products to purchase. And our proposition with the retailers is actually having one of our products directly on the shelf, just inches away from the kiosk. That's what's going to drive the revenue and drive the sales within these retailers. Now I want to show you two quick videos of two kiosks that we've recently launched. Here is one in a Health Mart pharmacy in Oakland, actually. So it has a digital display on there with rotating videos throughout that entire process to also increase the education process of hearing loss. Now here's a quick video of a tour of one that we placed in a physical therapy office. As you can see, these are highly engaged kiosks that we're going to be placing, again, in thousands of locations over the next few years. So here's the hearing screening program is on an iPad that's on that kiosk that we actually have remote data to. Because here's the thing, before a person takes the hearing screening, they have to give us permission-based, it's HIPAA compliant, they give us their full contact data. Email, phone number, email address, or physical address. So that way we can also additionally follow up with them. So it's just not selling a product, it's also a big data play. There is no one in this country or in this world that actually has data on where the hearing impaired individuals are. And that's where we're also having that big data play through this process. Pretty simple flow chart that goes along with it. Within 2 minutes, they will be able to have their hearing screening completed. If anyone wants to try to get a hearing test right now completed, what do you have to do? call a local AmeriClear, call a local hearing office, or call your local doctor. Then your local doctor has to refer you to an audiologist in your health group. I mean, you're talking could take days. That's one of the reasons why is that the 41 million Americans are not getting hearing help, because it's very restrictive. We're trying to make this easy, just like a blood pressure monitor station in pharmacies. You know, that's really in the 80s, 90s really started taking off and trying to get, you know, health issues when it comes to blood pressure, etc. So that's where InnerScope with our kiosk is meant to go after. Now, we've actually did a 3-month study in an optical clinic with our technology partner, where we actually have gotten over 1,360 hearing screenings completed, with 875 of those being detected within 3 months. And then over 250 of those 875 actually did something with their hearing loss. They actually engaged with the local audiologist or with our product. This was actually more of a referral process, not actually selling one of our products in the optical store. So we actually referred 200 of those plus hearing loss individuals to a local audiologist for additional assistance. So you can see where the model really works with, you know, us similar to a Redbox, Hickey Health Station, or Dr. Scholl's, for example. With that 1,360 and with the hearing loss detected and left the contact data, that you could see where with a 50% close rate with a $1,000 ASP, you can really start seeing where the gross profit can really start to grow for the retail centers and the pharmacies, as well as for InnerScope itself. So it's a win-win proposition for the pharmacy and the retailer, as well as InnerScope as a wholesaler. Now let's really quickly talk about the hearing screening kiosk revenue model. There's actually 3 levels of monetization. First is a B2C level, where the referral model is that a person takes the hearing test, then what they'll do is that once they're finished, they'll actually be able to leave their contact data and be referred to our website or to our call center to actually purchase one of our products. So we can actually sell the product over the phone or through the internet. Now we have a B2B wholesale distribution model, where this is where we actually place our products directly in the pharmacy or retail centers. Okay, this is where yes, our margins are a little bit less, but they're actually buying the product directly off the shelf of, pick a pharmacy, let's say CVS, let's say Walgreens. They're actually buying one of our products directly off their shelf, which increases the close rate and also increases the ASP. Now the third model is the referral model, is that we would actually be able to, with that contact data, let's say an 80-year-old doesn't want to buy one of our products off the shelf, that's fine, that's great. If they want to go see a local audiologist, we actually can tell them where we can actually provide to them a local audiologist in their area that can actually assist them. We're already connected with a company with over 1,000 audiologists nationwide, which we can start referring to. And for that, we actually charge $250 per referral. So you can imagine where we're actually monetizing this kiosk 3 different ways. And after a 3-month ramp-up period, we actually are looking to generate at least $40,000 a month in revenue per kiosk. Now, we already have current distribution channels, actually. We're on Walmart.com as a direct ship vendor. We're already in marketplaces like Sears, Amazon, Kmart. We're going to be doing infomercials with the original shark on Shark Tank called Kevin Harrington. He's that famous As Seen on TV guy. We actually have corporate-owned retail locations. We already have 5 locations already operating today. Our goal over the next 3 to 4 years is to actually open more locations on the West Coast, but the opportunity is to really grow the kiosk as being our lead generation system. We actually already have 200 plus kiosks on order in over 200 locations in 29 states for immediate delivery. We actually have access through this kiosk agreement of over 11,000 independent pharmacies that we're going to be connected to be launching our kiosk over the next 2 years. Now let me show you where actually our distribution channels in the pipeline. Every one of these individuals, and each one of these logos on here has expressed interest. We're actually already in conversation with every one of these individuals, each one of these companies, to launch our kiosks and launch our products in their locations. We also have direct response channel like QVC, HSN. We also have a store-in-store concept where we're actually opening up hearing centers inside retailers and pharmacies. Like I mentioned, we do have 5 brick and mortar audiological offices throughout, right now in Northern California and in the Bay Area, like Walnut Creek. We do about $150,000 a month in revenue right now, which actually those should be doing $250,000 to $300,000, but they're kind of undercapitalized right now, which is one of the reasons why we actually are going to be increasing the revenue in those stores with capital. Here's basically a map of our 116 roadmap. Basically hits the 116 locations highest on the West Coast. Basically, it's the entire I-5 corridor from San Diego to Seattle. We also have other hearing health products that we have vitamins and CBD oil. You can imagine vitamins being just like Bausch & Lomb Ocuvites. They do over $170 million just for eye vitamins. We also have, we're in a 510K clearance study right now for the treatment of tinnitus, which is going to be starting in January. Tinnitus is ringing of the ears. We're going to be the only treatment for tinnitus in the world that's FDA cleared, because right now there is none. We've done internal pilot studies for years, and based on those internal pilot studies, we should be meeting the 510K clearance threshold. Real quickly, the market opportunity, again, there's 48 million Americans suffering from hearing loss. Only 7 million people are currently being treated. That's 41 million people that need hearing devices in this country today. And that is worth tens of billions of dollars today. This is basically our revenue model. It's basically a simple revenue model of about $10,000 in revenue. Very conservative numbers. Every time we launch a kiosk, it's about $10,000 in revenue per kiosk generated on a very conservative level. We based on our conversion rates as so far, we should be seeing a $40,000 monthly revenue, but very conservatively, just $10,000 a month per kiosk, and it also provides a very healthy EBITDA throughout this process. Based on our current agreements that we have in place and the ones that are in the pipeline, which I showed earlier, we should have well over 2,500 kiosks deployed over the next 2 years. Management, again, like I mentioned, I'm 3rd generation in the hearing industry. My father over there, co-founder, chairman, been in the business for, he actually married into the business, but he's dispensed over 10,000 customers hearing devices over the past 30 years. My mother, who actually grew up in it with her father, we actually have 90% controlling vote of the company, as well as we actually sold a 20-store practice back in 2016 for well over $14 million.